Moldova is one of those small countries that, in my opinion, it's a weird fact that it exists. But let's gonna dive in the population right now, and then we're gonna look at the map and also at the history to see how exactly they doing. But now for the population, roughly 3 million people, and you can see this graph is pretty much they reached their pinnacle in the Soviet period and then just pretty much go down. That's a nice measurement when you can say, okay, the communists, yeah, they just pretty much force people to just have kids in a way or another, but you can see that was the pinnacle of the population and then just pretty much boom, go down. So that shows even this line here, it's not exactly a real one. But in the growing rate, yeah, it's pretty obviously, I would say this peak right here is probably because that Ukrainian-Russian war, because if you didn't have that, okay, this 2021 you have this line and it's gonna go down further, not up as we see here. But let's go back in the past now. In 1955, 2.7 million, now it's under 3 million. By the end of the year it's gonna be under 3. Now it's 3, let's say, but probably it's gonna be, even today I have to say, it probably is much less than these numbers here. Probably is like 2.7, something like that, than they actually said. But you're gonna take those numbers to show how it's gonna be in the future, let's say, to just have some data to comment on them. Now obviously the yearly population growing, it's on minus. Yearly change also around 30,000 people in average, 50,000 people on minus. Migration, I don't know anyone expect this 2022 when they have Ukrainians coming in, but I expect that year, and also the Soviet period, I don't know anyone who wants to go there. The median age was back in 1955 23, now it's 38, so huge increase from 3.4, like I said, but Soviet Union is kind of hard to just take those numbers, but even today 1.7 below replacement, but even those numbers I don't believe they're real. Also the global rank doesn't even worth mentioning, and the let's say the urban population back then used to be 20%, now it's 56, 57, 58%. So they're gonna increase the population in the urban area, but they're gonna say a bit on the map, that doesn't say much for them. But by 2050 they're gonna say it's gonna be 2.3, which I highly doubt that, especially if you have a war in that area. You're gonna have probably under a million, but without the war probably it's gonna be under 1.5 million if they get lucky. Migrants still on the minus, yearly change average on the minus. The median age now is gonna be, let's say, they go a bit down, they say, but probably it's gonna go much more up. So they say it's gonna be 40 as pretty much as today, not that much of the difference, just 2 years old, but probably it's gonna be much bigger, this number. The fertility rate obviously is gonna go down, and also the urban population obviously is gonna go a bit up. Now it's gonna be around 80%, so we're gonna see a few moments why. Now life expectancy for the average Moldovan, not that highly, let's say, sustainable, I would say, but no, it's like 71, 72 for both sexes, female 76 and male 67, which is huge decrease compared with other countries. Infant mortality 9.8 and death under age of 12 pretty much. You're gonna see a very poor medical system there, and there is nothing much you can say about Moldovians. The biggest city that they have is Chisinau with 635,000 people, so not that much either. Now I want to look at the map real quickly. You're gonna see where is the Moldovan really are, and if a word start there, you can see that along from the border with Romania, it's extremely close. You have this just pretty much a river, and that's it. So just you can go from here, let's say this is the Moldovan territory, you can swim, let's say, a few meters, and then that's it, you're in the Romanian territory, so that's easy to escape from them. So probably a lot of them, that's another huge river going on the entire east border of Romania with Moldova, so they're gonna be easily to just go there. But look at this, how developed Moldova it is. When I go with Google Map, I can already see the line of the territory right here, and in Moldova you cannot see that many things. Look at this, just a few 360 around and there. I want to go and let's see how exactly, because I want to make those videos together now, and I'm gonna make 2 different videos, how exactly they live there. By the way, this is a Russian company, oil, but look at this, it's pretty much the average, I would say, the East European, especially after the Soviet collapses, part of the country. But the fact that even with Google has no much, not that much interest in them, it's just don't even send a car there to pretty much show us some picture. Probably it's gonna be, who knows, maybe some political interference. Usually they are. We didn't have in Germany until even recently, but the average guy, look at this, in Moldova, it's nothing to be proud of it, in my opinion. It's pretty much waiting for Russia to come, in my opinion. And they say they want to join the European Union, but let me tell you, they're not going to let you in until they have a real reason, and that reason is going to be something that they actually need from you, not just, like I say, the European Union never does something from the goodness of their heart. It just does not. This is not how it works. And a lot of, I think, from those Moldovans, they just come in Romania and they just take the some visa or something that they say they're living now in Romania, and then from there they make the paperwork, and then they go in European Union countries to work. So there are already tools, let's say, that you can go in one or the other direction to just enter, let's say, the European. But like I said, look at this, very few. They have even now from a street view, not just 360, but yeah, the small population, pretty much, like I said, everything Soviet era. This one, it could be easily in Russia if you just show me this picture. So yeah, if you get born in this country, probably the best way you can do for you is just pretty much leave. Just, I don't know, go to college or something there, but just pretty much leave immediately after that, because there's no way you can have a future here in those areas. And this is the main city. And if you go outside them, let's go closer to the Ukrainian border. Let's see if we can find something. I don't want to go outside the border, so let me just check real quick a few ones. So yeah, the average guy who lives there, not that much. Look at this. On the countryside, good luck with that. And in the city, also good luck with that, because there's gonna be a lot of corruption there. Probably gonna have a much quiet life and better life here in the countryside, I would say, in some point, than just go in the main cities. But that's available pretty much for every country, so I'm not gonna give them that. And let's look now. Look at this. Already can see where Moldova is, because so look at this. Moldova is pretty much the same with Belarus. Just don't allow them too many. So even Ukraine doesn't have that many, but let's say they have the war. But even before the war, they don't have that many things going on for them there. And Moldova is pretty much the same. So you can see exactly where the Soviet Union used to be, except the Baltic states. They got developed really quickly. You can see here much better. But for the rest of them, yeah, you can see a clearly line where that is stopping and where they continue. Now, from the historical point of view, I'm gonna go backwards because it makes more sense for them. So you can see most of the time they're just pretty much in a Soviet era. And then they have, like I said, if you go, let's say, backwards, then 19th century doesn't make any sense for the present people anyway. So you're gonna see way different opinions from there. But yeah, mostly, like I say, especially from the recent history, there was pretty much a Soviet state, and now it's just pretty much don't exist in Europe. So yeah, the main one you can see, that's why you can see a lot of them right here. That's the Soviet Union it used to be, and it just looks very strange. Look at this with this map. It's still today you're gonna see, let's say, things from the past that pretty much don't change. And this is how it looks, in my opinion. So yeah, for the average citizens there, the best thing you can do pretty much is just live. And you can see the life, like I say, this infant mortality and death number just shows no medical system. That fertility rate is way too low. Probably those numbers, like I say, 100%, they are inflated just to get some support from the Western countries, just say, or from the international agency to just pretty much give them money and use it for whatever things that they claim they use it. In reality, probably much they steal it. And I think they have that guy who steal 1 billion euros or dollars, I don't remember exactly. So that's just insane in my opinion, but this is how it works there. So yeah, for the average guy, I don't see any good future for them. Not now. not even in the past. You can see something they live very well. And most likely we're gonna see what's happening in Ukraine and Russia, and probably they're gonna get taken back by Russia by the mid of the century, but who knows, maybe probably by the end of the century. But that dream about the European Union, like I say, I don't think it's gonna happen. And if it does happening, look at those countries like Romania and other countries that just entered a few years ago in the European Union, and they still don't do well with population. So probably it's gonna go even faster going down. So like I said, probably right now in Moldova, there are around 2.5 million people. A lot of them are also outside the country. Even they are still citizens and they have a home address in the Moldova. They probably living outside the borders. And most likely, like I said, by 2050, it's going to be around 1.5 million remain. And even that, I think it's too much for such a tiny country and with pretty much nothing to... no opportunities, nothing to aspire there. It's also way too much. Moldova should have around 100,000 people, and who knows, maybe it's going to be better for them if they have less people than they are today with, who knows, a better technology by the end of the century.